Hello, Fat Grandma here. If you have not been here before, my name is Paula. I have a very small eBay store. I occasionally sell on Poshmark, and when I say occasionally, I mean that. It rarely happens. Um, I don't know what stars aligned in the universe this past week, um, but I had 17 sales. Well, 16 because one of them was kind of a carryover, and I'll get to that, which is like double my normal amount, almost double my normal amount of sales for a week. Um, I almost did a video in the middle of the week this past week because I like to keep my videos down to a half an hour. So I may be a little bit rushed in this one just to get through all of the sales because what I normally do is share my solds for the past week or however long. I usually wait until I've had 8 to 10 sales. That's my new thing because I was doing a video every week, and sales slowed down to a crawl, and I decided that I was just going to do one when I had 8 to 10 sales to share with you guys. Well, all of a sudden, this past week I had 16. So I don't know what happened. And also, you guys, I I I suddenly got like 70 new subscribers on YouTube this past week. I don't even know what happened. I don't think I did anything different. Um, I always just talk to the camera like I'm talking to a small group of friends. I mean, that's how my brain thinks of it. I don't think I'm sharing information with 100 people or 150 people or whatever. I can't think of it like that because if I do, I will panic. Um, I've always been kind of an outgoing, friendly person, and I mean, my daughter's kind of the same way. We'd be out running errands, places, and strangers would just start talking to us, excuse me, for like no reason. And so that's kind of just how I am. But I'm not the kind of person who can talk in a room full of people, like in front of a room full of people. And I've mentioned this, I think, in a past video. I was the kid who, very social to the people around me in class, but if I had to stand in front of the classroom and do like an oral book report or anything like that, I would be physically sick in the morning before school and miss school most of the time. Um, you know, I so I can't think about how many people might watch me here when I'm doing my videos. Otherwise, I'll be a wreck. So I'm just going to keep in my brain telling myself I'm just talking to my friends, and that way I won't get too nervous. Anyway, I don't know if I already said this, but what I normally do is share my solds, and sometimes I will put footage in at the beginning of an auction pickup or something like that. Sometimes at the end, I'll put in a little clip of my cat Simon. I don't think I'm going to have a clip this week, just because I've been busier than normal and feeling a little overwhelmed. So that's where my head is right now. And again, I was very social in school. I talked to all of my neighbors in class and, ended up sitting next to the teacher. I got moved a lot because I was doing this with the kids around me. I would finish my work and then I would be bored and I would start talking. And I got moved around a lot. My report cards always, I got really good grades, but my behavior, score was very low. Paula talks too much, Paula talks in class, So I was a little social butterfly, but only with a small group of people. Um, Anyway, so that's in a nutshell. If you haven't been here before, if you've been around for a while, then you know how I am. And I trail off a lot. I'm going to try not to do that in this video because I have a lot of solds to get through. So, at some point I may, if sales continue to do like they are, I'll have to do a couple videos a week, or I will have to just pick out the sales that I want to share. I don't want to do that though. I want to be truthful. I don't want to just show you guys the good stuff. I want to show you my mistakes, which I do. If I make a bad purchase, I will tell you, I lost money on this, don't buy this thing, whatever. So anyway, I'm going to get to my solds, and then if there's anything else I think of to share with you guys, I will do that. I may have put in some footage at the very beginning. Depending on how long this part of the video is, will determine whether I share any of the auction pickup. I only had 2 weeks ago, I picked up 2 items from one auction house. One of them has sold now, and I'll show you guys that in this video. Anyway, here we go. My solds for the past week. The first item I sold was a Mainstays 100% cotton indoor sheer broad pocket single curtain panel silver, and I put the measurement in. That's exactly how I had it listed. I've moved the words around when I've relisted it or done a sold similar. This has been listed forever, and when I say forever, I mean over a year. It finally sold for $7.29, and with shipping, the buyer paid $15.89. That's something else I should probably explain to you guys, because I had someone comment on my last video that they thought my shipping was high. I think they misunderstood. What I do is I tell you guys the amount the buyer paid for the item, and then I give you the total they paid with the shipping and item together. So it's the combined price, and that's their total that they paid. Anyway, so that was that curtain. I got that in an auction lot. It was a store return. I try to stay away from those auctions now, or the lots that are open box or any of that kind of stuff. I don't do well with those kinds of things most of the time. And they will sell, but it takes forever for them to sell. And I usually don't get what I should out of them, so I stay away from those for the most part. The next item I sold was a Pirates of the Caribbean no trespassing Disney tin sign. And I picked this up, I believe, at Disneyland, I don't even know how many years ago. Somewhere from 15 to 20 years ago. I've had this sign for a long time. Anyway, it sold for $9.29. And with shipping, the price the buyer paid was $15.03. The next item, and this is the Scary Buyer pumpkin, the glass pumpkin that I talked about in my last video. So if you didn't see that, I had a buyer that purchased this item, and I checked their feedback that they leave for other people, and they had just pages of negative feedback that they left for others. I did not want this person to pay for their item. I wanted them to just disappear. Go away. Don't buy this, Unfortunately, you can't control that part of who they should have a setting. eBay should have a setting that if there's a buyer that leaves, more than 25% negative feedback, you can block them somehow, or you can stop those buyers from purchasing from you. But there's no setting like that. So I guess, this is just something that is going to happen occasionally. I've never seen a buyer with this much negative feedback, though. So they paid. They paid for the item. I shipped the item, and they received it this past Saturday. So 2 days ago. I've heard nothing. I don't want to hear from them. I don't want them to leave feedback. I hope it wasn't. I'm guessing if it was broken when it got there, I would have heard something by now. But I don't even know if they've even opened the package. Some people buy things and they don't open it right away. So I'm just hoping that everything's fine and I don't have to hear from this person. I did have some people contact me off of YouTube or asked me in the comments if I could share the buyer name, and I did. Um, I know there's people that will share the buyers and tell everybody, and I want to know when I watch someone else that, they've had a scary buyer. But I just wasn't sure if I'd get in trouble or put myself in hot water by sharing the actual username. I did share it through messaging on eBay or Facebook if somebody, contacted me that way. I will give the name out. I don't have a problem doing that. I just didn't want to announce it on YouTube. So, not that I have a ton of followers, but I'm getting more, and I don't know if I can get in trouble for that. So, anyway, next item I sold, I'm getting off on tangents now, so I try not to do that, or this video is going to be like an hour long. 4 Hallmark keepsake holiday Barbie Christmas ornaments. And these were 1994, 95, 96, and 97. The ball gown Barbies. The 4 ornaments sold for $11.99, and with shipping, the buyer total was $22.59. So about the same amount for shipping as they paid for the items. These ornaments have been sitting forever. I think the Barbie movie had something to do with these selling. I don't know. Or maybe the price just was right or whatever. I don't know. But Barbie ornaments don't do great on eBay. Not that I have a lot of them, or I did. I've started lotting things up now, so but I've had them for a long time. The next item I sold was a Friends Itty Bitties Rachel Green and Ross Geller Just Married plush Hallmark, and they were a Hallmark item. It was brand new. I got these as a gift from my daughter 2 Christmases ago, I think. I don't have any use for. I have no use for them. We've had a discussion in the past year since they moved to Nebraska. I've told her, and this makes shopping for me even more difficult, but I've told her, please don't buy me things, excuse me. Please don't buy me things unless it's something you want to inherit when I croak, or it's something that I can actually use, not that's just going to sit around on a shelf or end up in a drawer somewhere. I have no use for these things, and they're cute, and I appreciate the fact that she got them for me because Friends was one of my favorite TV shows. You know, eh, I have no use for them, so they got sold. Anyway, I sold them for $9.99, and with shipping, buyer total was $17.55. The next item I sold is something that I just recently picked up in an auction lot. It was a vintage hand crocheted dresser scarf or table runner. It was basically a rectangle doily, and it sold for $4.99, and with shipping, it was $10. Just a plain doily, It was pretty, but nothing fancy. The next item I sold was a set of 6 Indian Tree John Maddock and Sons dessert plates, and they had a green trim. There were 2 different styles of these plates. I got these, and I have a ton of different plates and stuff in a box still. Got them in an auction lot probably a year ago. I was starting to think that these things were never going to sell, and anyway, I sold 6 of the dessert plates. So I sold them for $20, and with shipping, the buyer paid a total of $33.38. So I would not pick those up unless you want to have them for a really long time. If you ever see these, just don't. I thought they would do better at the time. I always check comps if I can, if there's decent photos, auction photos on the websites. I'll check to see what has sold, and it looked like those things would sell, some pieces, but they're very long tail items. The next items I sold were 2 Lenox Holiday Dimension mugs. They had holly and berries on them, or that's what the pattern was called, holly and berries, and They sold for $16.49, and with shipping, the buyer paid a total of $24.77. I'm going to pause this for a second because I need to clear my throat, and I don't want to do that to you guys. And we're back. I got a drink of water too while I was at it, so hopefully that will take care of the frog problem in my throat. The next item I sold was something that I picked up recently at an auction. Um, I think I paid. There were two turkey platters in this auction lot. The second one I couldn't get a good look at. I couldn't tell. It was a waste. I pretty much I made a little bit of profit on this, but not much, because of the fact that the other platter that was in this lot really I can't resell it. No one will ever buy it. It's going to end up donated. So anyway, I sold this turkey platter. It was a 70s Sanko ware, country flowers, porcelain. It was enameled over steel turkey platter, and very obviously 70s design. And it sold for $12.99, and with shipping, the buyer paid a total of $24.42. And my frog is back. I don't know what's going on. It's the weather. It's so hot. The next items I sold were 3 Pioneer Woman green, red, yellow, diamond geo, autumn, fall Gibson salad plate. They were 8.5 inches, and that's exactly how I had them listed. There really wasn't any other way to list them. That's everything I had to put in. Anyway, the 3 plates sold for $15.50, and with shipping, the total the buyer paid was $29.38. It seems to be kind of a trend. It's like double the amount with the shipping. It's, on most of my things so far anyway, a lot of them have been the price of the item, you kind of double it, and that's what the shipping is. Some of them it hasn't been that bad, but quite a few things so far. I'm doing the math in my head, and it's kind of what it's looking like. The next, don't ever buy these. Do not buy these unless you like them and you want to keep them. Just the right shoe. I had a lot of 13 of them. There were no duplicates. I had no boxes. Some of them were not in great condition. Anyway, they sold for $13, so basically $1 a shoe. And with shipping, the buyer paid a total of $25.11. I picked these up at the Animal Rescue thrift store that I go to every once in a while. I used to. They went a little crazy with their prices, and I didn't mind paying up, but they really jacked their prices up, and I haven't been there in a while. So anyway, I thought these were really cute. I don't price check things or look for comps when I'm in that thrift store because it's very small and people are around you all the time. And I have issues with checking prices when there's people close by. So I thought they were really cute. I thought, oh, these will probably sell. I was wrong. I've had them for a very, very long time, probably a year. Delisted them and was going to just donate them to another thrift store. And anyway, I threw them all in a bag, and they all sold. I didn't even get my money back on these. These were totally, really bad purchase. I know I paid more than $1 each for them. I can't remember what I paid. It wasn't a ton, but I know I lost money on that sale. So just, don't buy those. I mean, there might be one or two that are worth a lot, but make sure you can check them if you decide you're going to buy some or you see them. This next item was kind of a surprise sale, and it sold very fast. So I think I may have underpriced it, or somebody who just really liked it happened upon it right after I listed it. It was a white carousel horse, wall art, hanging plaque, and that's exactly how I listed it. I put the measurements in the listing title. Sold for $22.99, and with shipping, the total the buyer paid was $45.81. I did not, I picked this up in a very recent auction lot and I listed it and it sold within 24 hours. It was unmarked. There was no markings on the back. I wasn't even sure how to price it. It was similar in size to some that have sold, but again, there was no maker on it, and it was ceramic. It wasn't even. A lot of them are resin. It sold quick. It was cute, you know. I mean, maybe that's what sold it. I have no idea, but I paid $2 for this for the auction lot that this horse came in. So, and it sold for $22.99. Now, after fees and all of that, I still probably made like, I don't know, over $15 in profit on this one item after the auction fees and the eBay fees and all of that. So, and I shipped it in a Chewy box, so I didn't even pay anything for the box. Yes, I used some bubble wrap, so you know, 50 cents or whatever. I don't even know. I don't even think it's that much I spent on bubble wrap. So that was a really good sale. Not a high dollar amount, but a very good amount of profit for the amount that I paid. Um, the next item I sold, and this was just some crap I threw together because each thing would not have sold on its own. A lot of 3 vintage Christmas items, and they one was a Santa roly poly, which I know I could have gotten more for, but it's it's fine. I got it out of here. Another one was an M&M man. He was empty, open, whatever, from 1993 ornament that was a 7-Eleven and Citgo combined Christmas ornament. They gave out ornaments, I guess, at the gas station back in 93. Anyway, I put the 3 of them together. I got an offer and I sold them for $7. And with shipping, it was $14.48. These were random items that were thrown in with auction lots. And so, you know, I don't know if I want to call them profit, but probably because they weren't the focal point of the auction lots that I purchased. You know, they were just extra crap that was thrown in the box. So they don't really count. Next item I sold was a vintage copper farmhouse wall hanging sitting chicken mold. And it was a hen. She sold for $16.99, and with shipping, the total the buyer paid was $26.35. Okay, the next item I sold was a vintage brass turtle trinket box. Had a hinged lid. The shell was on a hinge and opened up. It was very small. It was only 4 inches. Sold for $14.99. And with shipping, the buyer paid a total of $23.08. That came in an auction lot also, and I believe that lot is paid for, so this is profit. Um, it was a really pretty good week. Very good week. I think this was the best week I've had since I started reselling, even at Christmas time. I don't think I had a week like this one. I may have made more money, um, in some past weeks, but I never had this many sales. I don't think. I think this is the most sales I've ever had. It's very, very strange. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, this next item I think the last video I sold 3 of these, and I sold the other 3 in this video, or this past week. Pier 1 Imports, set of 3 ironstone lemon salad plates. They sold for $14.99, and with shipping, the total the buyer paid was $28.47. Let's see, I had one more sale. I have not shipped this yet. So, I usually have my tabs open, but I forgot about this one. Oh, okay, I had another sale, but it's going to go on next week's video, so I'm in the waiting to be shipped, and I see another sale. But that goes on next week, so I will tell you about this one. This is something that I just listed also. I recently picked this up. I think this is going to be one of the items that'll be in the footage that you will see at the beginning of this video if I haven't talked for too long. Anyways, an iridescent aqua 3-footed teacup with saucer, Royal Sealy China, 1950s Japan. And this teacup and saucer sold for $22. And with shipping, the total the buyer paid was $33.36. This was really pretty. I mean, it was really, really pretty. Um, if I was a teacup person and I collected things like this would be one, no matter who the maker name was, I would have bought it just because of how it looked. It was very pretty. The photos did not do it justice. Um, the uh, I don't know how to describe. You know how oil looks on water? Sometimes it gets that's kind of how the interior of this teacup looked. The colors would change. It was really, really a nice item. Um, anyway, that is it for my solds. Uh, Again, I don't know what happened this past week. I don't know if any of these sales were viewers. I don't think so. No one left any notes or anything. If any of you ever buy from my store, please let me know. Leave me a comment, because I would like to say thank you, and in my next video or whatever. I don't know. There's no way for me to know. And I am not a name. I will not know that a person bought something from me that's a viewer, even if the username is exactly the same on YouTube as it is on eBay. It will blow right past my brain. I won't notice. I will not. It just, very slim chance that I will notice. Even if I've talked to you outside of YouTube, like through messaging on eBay or on Facebook, I still won't put two and two together. It just will not happen. My brain doesn't work that way. So, if you purchase from me on eBay or Poshmark or whatever, please leave me a comment, write and let me know. I don't think that's going to happen very often because my stuff is weird. It's more collectible kind of things, and most of the time, not mainstream stuff. So I don't anticipate getting lots of viewer sales or whatever, and that's fine. That's not why I do this. Um, anyway, I think that's it. There won't be a clip of Simon again because and I need to cut this short. If I think of anything else that I needed to tell you guys while I'm editing or whatever, I will put that in here. Otherwise, I really appreciate all the new subscribers. It's mind blowing to me that, I was surprised before. When I had 50 viewers, I was surprised because I know that I'm not everyone's cup of tea. I just say whatever, and I'm not fancy, I'm never gonna be. This is just, I'm who I am. This is how I look during the summer, even sometimes in the winter. I don't worry about appearances or any of that. I'm just who I am, and that's it, I don't know. I don't understand. I don't understand what happened this past week. And I'm trying not to think about it. Like I said, it made me very nervous. I'm glad, that people find what I have to say useful. I wanted to share some information. I'm going to have to do little videos in between, I think. If sales keep up like this, I will have to do videos in the middle of the week or toward the end of the week, maybe. If I have something else I want to tell you guys about or share, because my solds videos are going to have to just be my solds videos. If sales keep up like they have been. I'm thinking this past week was just a huge fluke. And I just had an abundance of sales for me. That's a lot of sales for me. I know there's people out there that's like one day of sales. But for me, this was a huge week. Huge. Almost to the point of overwhelming. So, when I've moved and I'm in my own place and I have room to be organized, it will be much easier to expand my eBay business. but my current situation is just not, I mentally can't get myself to where I feel overwhelmed. I have a situation here. If you watched any of my past videos, you've gotten a glimpse of, I've shared a little bit about what's going on and where I live and the situation. So, anyway, I hope you guys have a great week. Uh, Thank you for watching. Thanks for subscribing, and I will see you next time. Bye.